Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to break down the story of a man who built an absolutely bulletproof mind from a life of just unbelievable pain. So let's kick this off with a warning, and this comes straight from the author, David Goggins. He says you, yes, you, are in danger of living a life that is way, way below your actual potential. Yeah, look at that number. Goggins' whole argument is that most of us, even when we think we're pushing it, are only using about 40% of what we're truly capable of. That's it. So what's the deal with the other 60%? Well, Goggins says it's not about finding some magic motivation. No, it's about one thing: breaking free from all those comfortable little lies we tell ourselves every single day. Okay, so to really wrap our heads around his whole philosophy, we have to go back, way back. We have to start where it all began for him, on a street with the incredibly ironic name of Paradise Road. I mean, look at this. On the outside, the Goggins family looked like they were living the American dream. You've got the successful businessman dad, the fancy cars, the picture-perfect family. But what was happening behind closed doors? It was a straight-up nightmare. We're talking child labor, constant fear, and just brutal, relentless abuse. So the family business was a roller rink, Skateland. You'd think that would be a fun place for a kid, right? Well, not for David. For him, starting at just 6 years old, it wasn't a playground. It was basically a prison. He was forced to work every single night from dusk till midnight with no pay, all under the thumb of the man he called the devil. And let's be clear, this abuse wasn't random. It was systematic. It was calculated. It was designed to completely shatter them. His father, Trunnis Goggins, controlled every single thing, using both his fists and his words to keep everyone in a state of terror. Can you even imagine? At just 6 years old, David actually tried to fight back to protect his mom. And, of course, he immediately became the new target of his father's rage. But Goggins says something really important happened in that moment. It was the first time his hatred for his father finally burned hotter than his fear of him. That was a turning point. In that house, even a little bit of hope was a dangerous thing. You know, he joined the Cub Scouts, something a kid should be really proud of, but his father weaponized it. That day, which should have been about pride in his new uniform, was twisted into a day of pure humiliation, capped off with another beating. It was all about showing who was in charge. So, what finally broke the cycle? Well, it was a severe ear infection. It got so bad that his mother was faced with this impossible choice: either defy her husband and get David to a doctor, or just let her son go deaf. She chose to fight back. And their escape was, wow, it was this incredibly tense, desperate run for freedom. I mean, every single step was filled with risk. You've got the secret planning with a neighbor, the middle of the night getaway, and then, get this, the car breaks down on the highway. They were so close to getting dragged right back into that nightmare. But here's the thing. They had escaped the devil, sure, but they were a long way from escaping hell. They were finally free from his father, but they landed in Brazil, Indiana, with absolutely nothing. We're talking trash bags for luggage, public housing, welfare. They'd traded one kind of prison for another. And that's just it, right? Escaping one war doesn't automatically mean you get peace. For David, it really just meant trading one set of battles for a completely new one. See, all that trauma from his childhood, it had to go somewhere, and it started showing up physically. This is what we now call toxic stress. His brain was basically hardwired into a constant state of fight or flight, and it caused a severe stutter. His hair started falling out. A whole new set of obstacles just piled on. But then, a little glimmer of hope. A new man came into their lives, Wilmeth Irving. And for a few years, it actually seemed like things were finally going to be okay. Wilmeth was the kind, stable father figure David had never, ever had. They were even planning to move, to start a whole new life. And then, just like that hope was absolutely shattered. Wilmeth was murdered. And David had to watch the news reports of it over and over again all night long, completely by himself. His entire world just fell apart again. I mean, how do you even come back from all that? The trauma just kept piling on, and it sent him into a total downward spiral. He started hiding, literally sleeping under his bed. He cheated his way through high school because he couldn't learn. And all of this just hammered home this one belief in his head, that he was broken, that he was born to fail. This was it. This was absolute rock bottom. And it's here that he realized he had a choice. He could let his story destroy him, become another statistic, or he could figure out a way to turn all of that pain into fuel. Okay, so this brings us to the very first practical step in the Goggins method. This is challenge number 1. You have to take a completely fearless, brutally honest inventory of your own life. So what does that mean? It means Goggins' first challenge to you is to confront your own bad hand. Write down every single obstacle, every excuse you've ever made, every piece of pain that you feel holds you back. And he says, don't be soft. No sugarcoating allowed. But here's the key. This isn't about feeling sorry for yourself or dwelling on the past. The whole point is to take that list, all that pain, all those excuses, and flip the script. You're going to transform it into the actual foundation of your strength. And that is the absolute core of building an armored mind. It's this idea that your biggest disadvantages, the worst things that have ever happened to you, the stuff that you think makes you weak, that can actually become your greatest superpower, but only if you learn how to use it. Goggins didn't run from his past. He ran on it. He turned his demons into his engine. He proved that our deepest pain can actually become our greatest power. And that really just leaves us with one question to ask ourselves, right? What's in your bad hand, and how are you going to play it?